Hi everyone and welcome back. Before we do anything at all, Webjab's unwell in hospital at the moment. I know he watches every video and he loves to comment about him. If you could stop what you're doing right now and go and throw a comment wishing Webjab well, I would be extremely grateful, and I know he would too. I'm not sure he knows how to reply, but we'll soon see. But he will see your comments, so if you don't mind, drop Webjab a get well soon comment and hopefully he will. Yes, welcome back to the channel. I've been kind of off a couple of weeks. I've been unwell again. I had the flu before Christmas, which lasted about 3 weeks, and then I had a very slight lingering cough, which wasn't an issue kind of for the last 2 weeks before I got unwell, and then I had a chest infection really. Doctors wouldn't offer any support at all actually. And they said, go home, rest, and if you fully collapse, go to A&E. And I said, oh, well, you know, no wonder A&E's full at the moment then, if the doctors aren't really doing anything. One day I really couldn't breathe, and I was saying to the doctor, this was the same conversation, I said, look, just give me something to release the pressure in my airways, even, you know, an asthma pump, just something, or a steroid. And he said, no, we don't do that anymore. He said, you've got to fight this at home, in your bed. If it gets any worse, go to A&E. And I was a bit annoyed, but I think Webjab's got the same thing actually. I think he might have even caught it off me, and he's ended up in hospital, so a severe chest infection, or I don't know what it turns into, pneumonia or something similar. I did a video on the car last week, changing the lower air fuel sensor, the oxygen sensor, but when I was editing it, it was boring. I was bored editing it, so I didn't actually upload it. But I do want to do a couple of bits on the car today, kind of things that should be quite simple. One, I want to pop all the spark plugs and try and give them a clean. I've never done the spark plugs on this car in 3 years. I'm not sure why. I'm wondering if I have the right tool, because they're quite deep. And two is there's some sort of valve under here somewhere to release pressure, a bit like on a bike. Air pressure release valve, a crank, and it's a diaphragm, and it may have a split in it apparently. On the BMW engines, which is what this is, the minis, it's up here, but this is a slightly newer one, so it could be somewhere slightly different, but that would explain why there's a bit of oil up here. And eventually soon I want to be able to change the cam cover gasket, because it's got an oil leak. So, spark plugs, cam cover gasket, and etc. Thank you to whoever commented about this valve. I can't remember what it's called, PCV valve, because I had no idea about it. I then looked it up, and you seem to be right actually. There's potentially a valve up there somewhere, potentially releasing oil. But again, I don't find these, I do these car ones to help car owners out. It's quite a unique car, this RC said. There isn't that many out there, and people don't even know that this is a BMW mini engine, and Peugeot use this in other vehicles, so I think it's all quite helpful to get it online. The CB200, I'm going to wait for the kind of Easter holidays. I get a few days off then in the Easter holidays, and then my plan will be to get the engine out, clean, spray, same colour as the side panels, the engine. I'm going to be spraying the frame, getting a good 2K clear coat on that before Nat's paint goes on, because there's no point putting Nat's paint onto this. The rest of the bike I love, but it just doesn't, it wouldn't do it justice. Just look at these bits and pieces of rust. They need treating, they need painting over to do the bike justice. And in the long run, you could think about kind of new rear shocks and getting bits and pieces sent off for chrome, get the wheels refurbished in the long run. And last but not least, sorry, this is quite a long intro, guys. CMPO emailed me last week and they said we've got a part you've been looking at, and it's basically the whole head for the Chinese bike with valves in. Now this is what's happened. It's taken me bloody ages to work it out. I did fix that one and it was running. You saw that. You saw in the last video it was running and it was selecting gear. And then it kind of stopped and it lost its compression. And I was thinking, what's going on? And basically, when it blew its spark plug out, it ruined the threads. So actually, I was turning the spark plug by hand. It was turning. It was not seating. And I thought, shit, there's nothing I can do with that. I'm no good at doing the, you know, putting new threads in. I wouldn't really know how to do that. So 150 quid, new heads here will solve all the issues. I don't mind if I have an engine that is solid. If I have an engine that is solid, I don't mind doing the pieces around it, because then I don't mind selling it. So that's the plan. I'm not going to be doing that today. I haven't got the energy. Today, Gary's popping down to do his Dominator front headlights. And while I'm waiting, I'm just going to do a little look over the car. These are the new Dominators. Oh, they're black.
Yes.
It's going to look like a Minion.
Look at it.
Okay.
I think it's nice.
Yeah, it's nice. Do you know what?
It's
Yeah,
like quite
it is
small.
going to look like a Minion though. It looks like a Minion already. So, yeah, I mean it should be as wide as these, no?
Yeah, literally, yeah.
Did it come with new brackets?
No.
These have gone a bit,
Yeah, I just seen it in the morning.
we've gone a bit rough, but maybe we no, it
You have some
wouldn't.
black, like matte blacks, any spray or something? Oh, I'll buy a new one.
I might have enough just to coat it, but it won't last long.
Of course.
We'd have to strip it. Yeah, but you know what I'm thinking now.
Yeah.
That you need to sell up and get a new bike in the summer.
No.
What about a Harley Davidson?
No way.
It's only 4.5 grand.
Never.
To be fair, if you want to get to work and back, probably not a Harley.
It's not
Alright, so while I'm just doing this little spark plug work over there. So Gary, if you just get this off. Look at these cheap Chinese ones. Look, it's melted. Crazy. If you just basically get this off and have the electrics hanging, because we have to double up, so don't take the electrics, take the bulb out, leave it all attached. All you're doing is getting rid of this. They can stay on, it's just these two. Because we need to double up all your electrics now to power both sides.
You think?
Yeah, you do, yeah. Unless it goes into one harness, does it?
No, it's two.
Yeah, it's two. So, I mean, we can make it in one. We can attach the yellow to the yellow down there. But either way, that won't be the connection in there anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so we'll attach yellow to yellow, white to white, somewhere far. And then we'll attach one up here. And you'll get what you're looking for. People are saying the Dominators aren't very powerful, but this cheap crap
Yeah, much better. You see?
was never powerful anyway. Plus, we're in central London. The lights are on 24/7, so we're not overly worried about that. So yeah, so Gary, when you get there, it's kind of stripped and in thingy. We'll then look at the wiring over here. Yeah? What's up? You look lost. My car's kind of failing at the moment. I changed the sensor down there. Was you here last time?
No.
So I changed the oxygen sensor down there, which was desperately needed somewhere down there. And it is running a bit better, but I think it's misfiring at the top end. I think it needs some spark plugs and maybe a set of coils. I think. But when Laguna turns up next, I'll put his reader back on. Make sure the oxygen sensors are good. Really, I should change this one as well. Just for kind of peace of mind. So it's fine, it's running and driving, but the warning light's on. It's driving me nuts. That's why I've popped the battery for 10 minutes to see if it'll reset. I won't be long now, I'll be over to help you. I feel like when you know you're unhealthy and unwell, that now's the time. Isn't now the time for him to say smoking ends?
Yeah.
I mean, my mate's a top paramedic and was talking to Webjab the other day and said, Webjab, I'm a smoker as well, but my God, because his oxygen levels went really low.
Yeah.
And that's happened twice in the last 2 months.
Well, it's not good, man.
To the point where he's brought to hospital.
How old is he?
He's not old, he's only 30.
Fuck, man. I'm having all this problem.
We're doing your spark plug soon, aren't we?
Yeah, because my one does a little bit of like top ends.
Yeah.
I'm not happy.
That's what the car's doing, funny enough.
It's just weird though, like you can go as soon as it hits like 700 RPM, it just bugs down a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's it, just like a boop and then it goes.
And then it passes
Yeah.
it. That's not too bad.
I explain the way I ride sometimes, even if it's good or bad. Okay,
What you should do is get a cheap tripod like that and bring your camera, whatever you're filming on, and do some of this, because I think a second angle of this for you would be great. And you can dub over what you're doing as well.
Yeah.
You know, I'm currently doing this. The more angles you add to your channel, the more it will boost.
That's true.
Even you could even throw in some of your boxing stuff, mate. You know.
Could you imagine?
Yeah. Take a small tripod around with you. Set your phone up at times. I mean, I think these were 20 quid.
Yeah.
So.
I did the job though. We don't do this one, I don't know. Okay, so WD and some.
Yeah,
Scotch?
just for a quick wipe. Yeah, exactly that green pad. Yeah.
Do you still have that one, like it protects the paint? You had like, almost looks like a nail polisher.
I'll tell you what.
Does it fit?
Yeah, it'll fit. Might need to move the indicators actually.
Lower.
They're touching. So all we've done is spliced every wire into the same colour next to it, and then we've trimmed the ends, which will be connected to the main wiring harness. Ideally, you'd have a soldering iron. I am going to look into ones that you don't need to plug in too soon. I just do a kind of fancy wiring technique, and then I use electrical tape over the top. And it rarely fails me, but if we're looking at 20 years down the line, best to drop a bit of solder on there. So if you're doing this at home and you have access to a plug and a solder iron, you know, Halfords have them for a tenner. Drop a bit of solder on all of the joints and they'll be stuck forever, and then tape over. Or even better, if you've got the soldering iron, shrink wrap over. So, but at the moment we're following all the same, everything's connected now to each other. Next bit's quite easy. All we need to work out though is what is what. I doubt there's a wiring diagram in your box, Gary, is there? So, so white and yellow. So normally black would be earth. So if there's a black over there or a green, normally that would be that. And then the other two, one will be high and one will be low. You can do the high and low with trial and error, guys. There's no huge problem there. Just shove a yellow in, shove a white in, and just see if it works. If not, switch them over, and you'll be absolutely fine. So the next bit's easy. It's as simple as I think probably mounting these onto the brackets first, and then hooking up the wiring, or hooking up the wiring and then mounting them. One thing we can't do with these is contain the wiring loom, which is what the old one did. So we're probably going to have to throw some tape around all of that loom and just neaten it up, because it's going to be hidden now, probably here under the light. So we're going to have to kind of tuck it all in so that it doesn't look out of place. So green and black almost definitely. I feel like it's not white and white, but we can try that. White and white. It won't make a difference. The only difference is that the high beam will be the low and the low will be the high at this stage. Just make sure none of these are touching each other. This is not the final wiring, this is a test. Alright, make sure none of them are touching. Alright, Gary, if you throw on something, so high beam on. Oh yes, it's the right way. And off. Yep, perfect. Alright, turn it all off. Okay. Alright, so
It's right.
it's right, yeah. Indicators are on. That will be hidden under here. That will be hidden under here, but I need to do it better. Alright, we're close, we're close. Don't over tighten and go, yeah. I think that looks right. Why is this at a funny angle? Don't go too far, go, because it will scuff when you turn it.
Okay.
I've left it a touch loose. I need to move the bike back just to see if it's aligned. Something's winding me up.
I need to somehow tug the cable somehow. Or black it out or something.
Right, hang on. So if this is straight, there you go. No, there's still a bit. They still need to come over.
I think this one.
I'm comparing it to this.
Okay.
Yeah, because that is bent. So there you go.
I think it's looking better.
I think they look alright. Oh, they are pointing up. Yeah.
I think this one now.
Do you know what? It's definitely more Street Fighter, Gary.
This needs to go up a little bit.
Yeah. Do you know what? It works, mate.
Yeah.
Definitely works. Guys, what do you think? Drop I know you've probably already dropped a comment about Webjab getting well soon, but drop another comment. What do you think about the Dominators? I don't think they don't look particularly underpowered to me. Especially, they look quite powerful. I mean, I think actually, especially compared to the last cheap £20 melted one. So not too bad. How much were they, Gary?
Around 50?
50 quid. Definitely from China, but actually good quality, thick wiring. Remember, China, like anywhere else, if you pay the money, they will make better products. So I think, yeah, happy?
I would say so.
I think so.
I think it looks more muscly, huh?
I think, yeah, I do. I do think it looks more muscly. That's exactly the words, Gary. Yeah, definitely. Yes, very pleased, very pleased. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Do drop a like, comment, make sure you're subscribed, make sure you press the bell button. I know the channel's slowed down over winter, it always does, but we'll be picking up again soon, around Easter properly, and I'll be putting the head on that Chinese bike, possibly next weekend if I'm feeling better. And hopefully everyone will be kind of back